Miracles will come to you for 24 hours after watching this video. Here's the proof. All right, first things first, it's crucial to understand the concept by this gray-haired guy named Albert Einstein. He proposed that time, as we perceive it linearly, doesn't actually exist. So when we talk about miracles in 24 hours, we're entering a realm where traditional time constraints don't apply. So even suggesting the idea of 24 hours isn't entirely helpful, because Einstein said linear time doesn't really exist. So what you want is just waiting for you to shift your perspective. And that's what big idea number 1 is all about. Everything you desire already exists in an infinite universe where there are no time limits. Because if linear time doesn't exist, there is no past and there is no future and there is no 24 hours from now and there is no yesterday and there is no thing that you want in the future that you do not have. It's all happening right now on infinite timelines. And for us to shift the timeline, our consciousness has to change frequencies. So if you're ready for that, then I invite you to think about some star. Maybe one you've seen in the sky. Perhaps it's 946,000 light years away and we've quantified the distance. To us, it has a concept, right? Because it's a number. Even though it's really far away, technically, we could get in some rocket ship and go through a wormhole and somehow we'd arrive there. But if you got 1,000,000 light years away and you were able to look up at the sky, you would see even more stars. So the universe is infinite and it goes on literally forever. Forever. It's infinite. Albert Einstein wasn't aligned with this New Age thinking, yet he was still saying that time does not exist as we know it, that there is no such thing as linear time. And Neville Goddard clarified, he said that manifesting isn't about creating something, because creation is finished and energy is infinite. Neville said manifesting is about aligning with something that already exists in the quantum field as subatomic potential. So that means you're not creating anything new. If you want something awesome to occur in your life, whether that's in the next year or in the next day, it already exists because creation is finished and energy is never created or destroyed. It's simply rearranging itself into new possibilities and new potentials from the quantum field. The money is already here. It already exists. In fact, they print so much money, it's losing value every single year, right? Money now is literally debt, right? That's what inflation means. So if you have a bunch of money sitting around and there's infinite amount of it in the world, right? There's so much of it, it's losing its purchasing power. That's how much there is. So all the money you desire is already here if you align your consciousness with it. But it's not just money, it's your soulmate. They already exist on this planet right now, right? They're just waiting for you, just like you're waiting for them. Your dream house already exists. It's already been built, or at least the location already exists. The builder is already here. It's just that you have to come into harmony with it now. And that summarizes big idea number 2. What you desire is already here, waiting for you to open your mind to it. And I just want to say, I am aware that that's a trippy concept to comprehend, right? Even if we go through the quantum physics, and we have Einstein saying that there is no matter as such because all matter is actually energy, and we have Max Planck, who won a Nobel Prize in science, saying that he spent his whole life studying the most clear-headed science in the world in atoms, but then he found out that atoms are actually not solid and they're just energy. And then we look at quantum physics and the observer effect, right? Like, we can cite it all, but based off of the way that we're programmed to believe we're just these physical bodies and believe in linear time, the idea of manifesting something awesome into your life in a quick period of time is a mind screw, right? And that's why I always hypnotize myself. That's why I always talk about success hypnosis, because we're all under a form of hypnosis. To believe in linear time is a form of hypnosis. It's a form of social programming. So what I do is I just listen to this success hypnosis every day. Well, I work at the computer, some days 8-10 hours, right? I'll actually just loop the same thing over and over and over again that I'm listening to over and over. And you can actually see huge changes in your life in a couple minutes. I have a free success hypnosis to reprogram your subconscious mind to align your consciousness, your subconscious, your frequency with what it is that you want. And then you pull that potential from the quantum field subconsciously, and that's the observer effect in action. You start to control reality from the subatomic level. So you can click right here to get my free success hypnosis MP3, or you can go to jakeshypnosis.com, where it's pinned in the description or to the comments right there down below, and it's free, right? But this is the whole tricky thing, because of the mind, and it thinks it's linear, and we think we're our bodies, but we're not bodies, right? We're spiritual beings in a physical body. It's just like this is a rental car, right? You're already one with everything you desire because everything's energy. Which you might be like, well, how am I one with everything? Well, there's only one source of energy here, and it's manifesting into infinite different forms that we think of as separate objects in time and space. One energy, you can call it God, you can call it universe, you can call it spirit, light, vibration, consciousness, you can call it Allah, Jesus, right? It's all a matter of subjective interpretation. Alan Watts says you can't get wet by the word water, right? We used to believe in this Newtonian model of physics, which essentially says that we live in a physical world with solid matter, and we are essentially subject to this physical world. But then Einstein comes along and he's like, hey guys, E equals mc squared. And what he discovered is that energy and matter are so connected, they're actually one and the same. This energy is the building blocks of the whole physical universe down to the subatomic level, that science has even found that physical matter is 99% empty space. So there's only one consciousness that manifests itself in different frequencies and forms. And when you recognize that, and what Einstein said, that actually linear time doesn't exist because there is no time, it's a man-made concept, it's just a way that we cope or try to define reality, then you basically realize that everything you want is already here as potential energy waiting to take physical form. Then it's not even a question of, are you good enough? Hell yeah, you're good enough. Is it possible? Hell yeah, it's possible. It already exists. So in understanding this, the question shifts from whether something is possible to how you can align yourself to these infinite possibilities that already exist. Whether it's your dream of financial abundance, love, success, they aren't just potential futures that hopefully one day happen. They're present realities waiting for you to align your frequency with them. Is it possible to make $1 million? Like, I used to wonder that. It's an irrelevant question, because that reality already exists. Is it possible for you to find your soulmate? They already exist. Huxley said that if we could cleanse the doors of perception, that everything would appear as it is, infinite. So you aren't creating something that doesn't exist. It's already here. Manifesting is about aligning your frequency with it, and that it appears because it already exists. It's like adjusting the radio to the right frequency. That's all it is. It's your thoughts, your beliefs. That's the dial that shifts the frequency or rate of vibration of your consciousness. That's what's happening. And that's why I'm so big on using a success hypnosis. It's pinned in the top comments, or it's in the description down below. It's free. It's jakeshypnosis.com, or you can click right here to reprogram your subconscious mind. So your consciousness is no longer limited by the confines of our third dimensional understanding of reality, which really is inherently limiting. So you can click there, it's free. And that's what big idea number 3 is all about. Tune into the frequency of what you desire. Now, before you go and try this, bringing miracles into your life, a miracle in the next day, right? Just test it. Understand, most people fail because they're focused on the absence of what they desire rather than the presence of their desires. They're focused on the lack, right? It's like tuning your radio frequency to scarcity instead of abundance. And the universe doesn't differentiate between what you do and don't want. It simply reflects back the essence of your focus. So if your attention is on scarcity, scarcity is what you amplify back into your life. To manifest is to understand reality is like radio. On one station you get jazz, on the next station it's a talk show. They're all manifesting or existing at the same time, but what you hear is based on what you tune into. And reality works the same way. There's infinite realities happening right now. You can change the station from poverty or wealth, from love to heartbreak. If you let your eyes and your thoughts deceive you, and you focus on what's missing, your reticular activating system, the part of your brain that focuses on what's important, it starts to dwell in what's missing and further create that reality. So imagine reality's like thousands of different channels on a TV streaming app. And the app has thousands of shows, it has thousands of movies, and they all represent different outcomes or future experiences for you. So just as you navigate through Netflix, you have the power to select exactly what you want to experience. The key is unlocking this by tuning your frequency to it, right? Tuning your feeling to it. What would it feel like if you got that good news? What would it feel like if you did get that awesome email or phone call? What would it feel like if your sale did go through on your house? What would it feel like if you were able to get a new car? What would it feel like if when you were at the grocery store, you bumped into the person that became your soulmate and it happened just like that? You didn't see it coming. It was out of left field. What would it feel like? That shift is what pulls it from the quantum field. It's already sitting there. So if it hasn't happened yet, don't get discouraged, because just because your favorite TV show isn't playing, you don't get discouraged, right? No, you just change the channel. It's the same thing. You're changing the channel, right? So then it kind of gets exciting, and it's like, well, how far could I take this? And that's what I invite you to do for the next 24 hours, for the next 48 hours, for the next 7 days. Do a thought experiment and see what you can bring into your life. Maybe you start small. See if you can manifest some particular good news, or a phone call, or a text message, or a cup of coffee, or a ride. Or go big. See if you can get a new client. See if you could sell your house that's been on sale for 6 months and you haven't been able to get a buyer yet. What you want is seeking you. And just because there's a lack of evidence doesn't mean it is evidence of lack. But we get fixated on that lack of evidence, not understanding that there's all these different waves of energy that are beyond the spectrum of visible light that we can see sitting in the quantum field, and they're always just waiting for our frequency, for our consciousness to see where it goes. So you are selecting what channel to watch as your reality. That's what's happening. Your selection is based off of, are you focusing on the presence of what you want, or are you focused on the absence of what you want? And when you do that, some fun things can happen. So I invite you to pick one specific thing that you want to test this out with. It could be some good news, some financial news, an extra couple $100, a new sale, new customer. It could be a new friend, someone contacting you. It could be a new date. It could be help with a problem that you're having personally, professionally, in relationships. Just pick one station that you want to watch within the next 24 to 48 hours. Once you select whatever that is, spend the next 5 minutes after this visualizing it. Turn on my free success hypnosis. Tune your subconscious mind to the right frequency. And you're going to consciously rehearse what this desire would look like and feel like once it manifests. That's you sending a message to your unconscious mind. And that is what starts the wheels in motion for the miracles to occur. So if you enjoyed today's video, you can click right here to get my free success hypnosis, or go to jakeshypnosis.com. It's pinned in the comments and the description right there down below. Come back and share your success story over the next 24, 48, 72 hours. Love to hear from it and feature it in a future episode. Thanks for watching today's video. If you enjoy it, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, bell notification, and you can click here to watch another one.